Hey guys, this is the Great Jedi and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm doing a very requested video, well actually a series, and that's my in-depth how to not suck and become unstoppable hero guides. And in this video I'm going to show you guys how to play Grand Master Yoda in Star Wars Battlefront 2. But I'm not just going to show you how to play him. I'm going to show you the whole shebang, including striking, ability combos, use of stamina, star cards, and a bunch of other tips and tricks. And I do have quite a bit of tips to show you, so be sure to stay to the end of the video because the tips at the end are just as important as the ones in the beginning. Also, if you're wanting to know how to lightsaber duel in general, or just how to use blaster heroes against saber heroes, then be sure to check out those guides on the channel once you're done with this video. All those links will be in the description. Now that we got all of that out of the way, if you like these types of videos or this series, be sure to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you never miss a video. It's free and it helps me out. Now let's start off with some basic things about Yoda. Yoda has 700 health, which is below average for the standard lightsaber wielder, but he does have an average health regen pool of 250. And for those that don't know what a health regen pool is, it is basically when you take a ton of damage, you can heal back up 250 HP, meaning you don't get all of your health back. Although, there is still a way of getting all of your health back if you end up taking a lot more damage than you initially thought, and that would be through his passive ability, which all the heroes have, and that is health on elimination. And basically what a passive ability means is that you have that no matter what. You don't even need any star cards to have it, so you can be a level 1 player and use it. And that passive ability makes it where Yoda can regain health for each defeated enemy. You get 20 health back for each trooper or reinforcement you kill, and 100 health back for any enemy hero that you kill. But even if you're not good at managing your health yet, that's okay. Because even if you don't get those kills to get your health back, you have your middle ability, which allows you to buff yourself, and without any star cards, it can give you an additional 150 HP. Now, regarding Yoda's stamina pool, it's not great like Obi-Wan's, but it's not super bad like General Grievous', so I would say his is about average or maybe slightly above average. And if you guys don't know where to see his stamina bar, it's right underneath the health bar at the bottom of the screen. It's white and it does deplete when you swing or block. And you can swing to a total of 12 times before running out of stamina with Yoda. Yoda also has 2 normal dodges, which can be very effective when timing them right because they can get you out of a lightsaber combo and also give you the ability to dodge incoming attacks, whether it's the opponent's basic attack or their abilities. And what I mean by that is that Yoda has 2 dashes, which will continually recharge, and if you time them correctly, you can avoid an attack. For example, let's say Kylo is about to pull you with his left ability, but you can dodge, and if you're in that middle of your dodge animation, then you won't be affected at all by it, and that goes for all dodges. Just notice that I did say dodges and not dashes because they are 2 separate things. Now, about his lightsaber damage, you can do about 125 damage from the front and about 150 damage from behind, which means you can only one-shot the infantry classes from the back with the exception of the heavy. Then you would have to hit twice, judging that they are at full health. Yoda also has a slower swing speed than a lot of other heroes, and he jumps when he attacks. So just keep that in mind when you just want to quick kill and then get out of there, because you may be in there longer than what you expected with his slower swing speed. Although when you do parry with him, I have noticed that you will get a quicker landing animation. For example, let's say you do a quick parry jump, then Yoda gets back quickly onto the ground. Now let's continue to talk about his 3 abilities. His middle one is called Presence, and that not only allows Yoda to instantly buff himself, he can also instantly buff everyone else around him as well. And if that wasn't already enough, when you activate that ability when you are in any immobilizing effect, you can break out of it. And what that means is that if an enemy hero decides to use their immobilizing force power on you, you can get out of it. For example, if Darth Vader starts to force choke you and you have that ability, you can use your middle ability to get out of it. Same thing with Kylo's freeze, Darth Maul's force choke throw, Palpatine's electrocute ability, you name it, any immobilizing effect. Now, I will say be careful when to activate this ability because it does have a 20-second cooldown and it has an activation animation, meaning if you decide to use it in front of a big group of enemies that are shooting at you, you may die in the process even with the buff that the ability gave you, and that's because Yoda does this healing animation which makes you stand still for a quick second, which can be very deadly if you use it in the wrong spot. So to bypass that animation completely, you can actually use that middle ability in the air when you jump. That way you can continually be moving around while giving yourself and your teammates the health buff. Just remember to actually activate that middle ability when you're jumping up or at the peak of the jump, because if you use it towards the end of the jump or when you're going down, you will stop in midair and do that animation, or he'll do it right when he hits the ground depending on when you activated it. Just also keep in mind that you can't block when you're jumping, so be careful when you do that. Now moving on to his left ability, which is called Unleashed. It is a force push that damages all enemies in his path, although when Yoda blocks laser bolts, you will see a blue bar fill up around the ability, and that will show you how fully charged it is. And yes, you can charge that ability. You don't need to, but don't expect it to instant kill troopers or have a lot of range, because it doesn't. Unless you charge it all the way, then it will instantly kill those infantry troopers, as well as having a bigger radius for your force push, which will result in a lot more kills. I will say another thing that the ability definition doesn't tell you is that when you block any force power, it will actually permanently charge that ability. And what I mean by that is when you block laser bolts, you have to hold down that block button and not let go. Otherwise, the charge will go back down, which is completely different when you block force powers. Because when you block a force power, for example like Darth Vader's Force Choke, Kylo's Pull, or even the Emperor's Lightning, you'll be able to see how much that charged your left ability, and you can lower your block and it saves that force energy for your next Unleashed push. Now moving on to his right ability, he has Dash Attack. And Dash Attack allows Yoda to leap forwards up to 2 times without any star cards dealing damage to anyone in his path. And what makes this ability so deadly for your enemies is that this makes Yoda super fast and really hard to hit. Not only that, Saber heroes can't block these dash attacks. So if you see their block up and they're at low health, just dash right towards them and they will die, because the damage goes right through their block. Now this ability can also deflect, because I've been able to kill low health droids when they shoot at me when using that ability. Like my aim would be on them and I would kill them by deflecting the laser bolt when they shoot at me. But that is sometimes very buggy and hard to pull off, so I wouldn't really worry about that. I just thought I'd mention it really quick to let you know it's a possibility. Now for this part of the video, I'm going to be going over my hero mode star cards, which include Heroes vs Villains and Hero Showdown, as well as giving you some tips for those modes, and my large scale mode star cards, which include Galactic Assault and Supremacy, as well as giving you guys some more tips for those modes as well. So let's get started with my hero mode star cards. Now before I say them, I do want to say that all star cards are pretty good, and it's really up to you and your playstyle. But after playing the game for a while, like basically since launch, I've been playing for over 3 years, and figuring out my playstyle, these are the star cards that work best for me. Now for the hero modes, I go with Agility, Feel the Force, and Lightsaber Mastery. I go with Agility because it gives Yoda an extra dash attack. Now it does have a slightly lower recharge rate by 10%, but honestly you can't even really tell the difference because it's like less than a second. Now I go with this card because it really does help you in just about every situation. Whether you want to close a gap between you and a blaster hero, or whether you want to get more distance between you and another lightsaber user, it's great because you're hard to hit, you move fast, and it goes through blocks if you decide to use it that way. But just keep in mind, you don't have to use it on anybody. You can just use that ability to improve your movement, which can actually win you the duel. So don't feel bad when you don't damage anybody with that ability, because it even has a pretty fast recharge rate anyways. Then I chose the star card Feel the Force because that gives you 60 bonus HP when using your middle ability, which may not seem that much, but when you stack it on top with all of your other health, you can be like a little tank. Seriously, like you will have over 900 health. Yes, you heard me right, 900 health when using your middle ability, and you're really hard to hit. So to me, that extra health is worth that card slot, and plus you can't really go wrong with getting more health. Then I chose my last star card, Lightsaber Mastery, because you drain less stamina when striking by 15%, which means instead of being able to just strike 12 times, you can strike a total of 15 times. So that card can give you a total of 3 more strikes, which can honestly help you a lot depending on your situation. And now that you guys know why I chose those cards for the hero modes, I can give you a quick few tips on how to take out those annoying enemy heroes. So one skill you gotta learn is parrying. If you don't know how to do it, be sure to check out the description for another video I've made because I go into depth on it. Now, besides parrying, comboing your abilities is really useful. One common thing I constantly get asked is how to beat those block spammers. Well, Yoda is the perfect choice for that. Be sure to use your dash attack because that goes through their block. And then you can just turn around to strike them because when you use your dash attack, you will be behind them. So you can just do another attack. But also keep in mind, if you have those 3-star cards that I go with, you can actually do that a total of 3 times. So if you do that all 3 times in a row, and if for some reason they're still not dead, they will be extremely low. Now, if you find yourself not turning around fast enough, try upping your sensitivity a little bit over time. That way when you dash, you can just instantly turn around and strike your opponent. And I haven't even talked about the other 2 abilities. You can dash and then use your unleashed ability, but honestly, I would save that when you really need it. Whether that means they're running away because they're low health, or if they're on you so much you need them to back off, you know? Now, that's not the only reason why I say you should save that ability though. I also say that you should save that ability and block force powers, that way you can charge it to be more powerful. Now, if you're wondering when to use your middle ability while in these duels, I would say it really depends on who you're up against. For example, if you're up against someone that can change the tide of battle right away, like Darth Vader with his force choke, I would say save it so you can escape. But if you know you're going against, let's say, a blasty hero, and you know you're going to take some damage trying to take them out, buffing yourself before going into the fight may really help you. Now, for the larger scale game modes, I go with the star cards Agility, Field of Force, and Jedi Mentor. Now, if you're not feeling Jedi Mentor because it's just not your type of card, then I'd go with Lightsaber Mastery because those are the 2 I switch out a lot depending on how I'm feeling in the match. Now, I just explained why I picked those cards except for Jedi Mentor, and I just picked Jedi Mentor because it basically gives you 8% damage reduction when fully upgraded, which is great because damage reduction is always good. That means you are not going to take full damage no matter what the attack is. Although, if you are good with your movement, or you just feel like you can get out of those sticky situations quickly without taking much damage, sometimes like I do, then I would go with the stamina card, Lightsaber Mastery. Now, for some tips that I can give you in those modes like Galactic Assault and Supremacy is to constantly be moving, that way you are using his speed and little hitbox to your advantage. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've slipped through the enemy team in the objective and just took it out because they didn't see me since I was so small, or they weren't able to hit me since I was constantly jumping, dashing, dodging, using my abilities wisely, and just things like that. But also remember that Yoda does better at close range because he only has his left and right abilities that can be used at range. And it's better to save your right ability for movement purposes and your left in case you need to get out of a sticky situation. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this hero guide. If you guys did enjoy it, please consider liking the video if you did like it, or dislike it if you disliked it. But if any of you guys have any questions, comments, or constructive criticism for me, please put them all in the comments down below because I do read and respond to them. Seriously, some people don't ask me questions because they don't think I'm going to answer them, or they don't want to bother me. What's the worst that can happen? Me not answer? Come on. Remember, I'm here to help you guys out. Also, remember that this is my very first specific hero guide on the channel, and there's always improvement that can be made, so be sure to let me know what I can do better in all of those future hero guides. And if you are interested in those future hero guides, Battlefront 2 in general, just everything Star Wars, or just want to help me out, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing while hitting that notifications bell down below so you never miss a video. And if you guys have any other tips for Yoda that you guys can give, be sure to do so in the comments down below because there's tons of different tips and different strategies out there so others may learn from the comment section as well. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you always.